Some big news out of the baseball world here involving the Mets. Former Mets pitching coach Phil Regan, he is suing the team due to discrimination, age discrimination. Regan, he was named interim pitching coach at the age of 82 back in the 2019 season after they, and then they ended up hiring after that season a 33-year-old Jeremy Hefner. So this is a very interesting topic here, but let's just look at the broad spectrum just from all sports here. How are old coaches viewed compared to younger coaches, would you say? I
think it really depends. I truly do. Like, we think of Bill Belichick and Nick Saban, who are two older guys who have done really good things in the game of football specifically. In one regard, probably compared to some older coaches, I think we also look at the young rising stars, and we've basically seen it with all of the Eagles staff, right? You got Nick Sirianni and his offensive coordinator is going off, and his defensive coordinator is going off, and they're all guys who are like 41 years old or younger. So I think that sports now is skewing to a younger coach. I think they connect differently with players. They think about the game differently as well. They evaluate differently, and so you start to bring in fresh ideas and some new blood. But there's also a place for some of these older coaches. Andy Reid is not exactly the youngest guy out there. He just won a Super Bowl. And so I think that we can look to examples of how each of these individuals and their age can provide perspective to an organization.
Yeah, I think the trend in sports, no matter what it is going younger. It's a baseball topic, so we'll talk about it. Like, I think you look guys like Buck Showalter, Terry Francona, who we just mentioned, was a long-time baseball guy, coached two different franchises, managed two different franchises, excuse me. And so, but then you have guys like Gabe Kapler and guys like Kevin Cash and guys like David Ross, guys who were playing not too long ago, guys who were, in broadcast booth and came down from the booth to manage. And so I think when you look at baseball as a whole, yeah, it's shifting younger on the field as well. Like, it's not just in managerial positions, but if you look at off the field, whether it's GMs, president of baseball operations, the game's going younger. I know people look to analytics all the time and say, well, younger guys understand analytics a little bit better. I think there's something to that. I think at the same time, that's not to say that an older coach or manager doesn't understand those things. So you guys have guys like Bob Melvin, who's been around for a long time. Buddy Black in Colorado, same thing. And so I can't say that one is better than the other. I think as an organization, you have to decide what's best for you at that time. And whatever that is, whether it's an older manager coach or a younger manager or coach.
Yeah, and I think it's important, the analytics, because of the way the game is evolving in all sports, whether it's football, basketball, or baseball in this instance. But what bothered me with this situation, though, was that, the reason why he's filing age discrimination or he's suing them is because he was told that they were going younger, that that he was too old. I don't know how you look at that and you say that it's not discrimination.
Yeah, and I think it's really unique because as you look at profiles for hiring people, there are specific qualities that you want to look for, but things that you can't say is like, we want to hire somebody of a specific race. We want to hire somebody of a specific age. Like, those things are certainly going to get you in trouble. And I think that having holistically this idea that you want to hire somebody who is a specific age limits you in terms of bringing in maybe the right person for the right job, because you could be looking for all the qualities in somebody and that guy could be 75 years old. Yeah. That's the one that you should hire. And so I think if that's what went on and that's what he is alleging went on, that's a real issue. And that's an organizational systemic issue that we shouldn't see, because we talk about this when it comes to hiring coaches based off of race too. Do we think that there should be more diversity? Yes, but is it also a travesty if you say we're going to hire a person because of? Yes, we just need the playing field to be level and everybody gets a fair look at these jobs.
It would be one thing if they told him, hey, you're underperforming, hey, the pitching staff or the rotation wasn't really performing as well as we had hoped, that that's why we're going to let you go. But the fact that he led with that, I can understand the frustration from a guy, especially given his resume, how many years he worked with the Mets organization, his history in baseball from playing to coaching to managing. It seems unfair, because that's like telling us, hey, you work your entire career to become a broadcaster, you put forth the hours, you can still do your job, but we're looking for somebody younger. How is that supposed to make us feel? It's like we do everything right, but just because we're old doesn't mean, or older means that we can't do the job?
I think if we're going to bring it down to our level too, it happens in the reverse, where it's like, you don't have quite the experience that we're looking for.
That's what I was
And it's like, what,
at.
and you were talking about the checklist. What says that I don't have all the qualities that you're looking for without that experience? So I think it definitely works both ways.